Welcome back to It Tastes Like Burning. This Matt.
This is Jesse.
And per the usual, if you ever feel like reaching out to us, you can find us at ittasteslikeburningcast@gmail.com. You can find us on YouTube at It Tastes Like Burning Cast. You can find merch on Patreon at It Tastes Like Burning Cast. And if you ever have any questions, concerns, comments, theories, inquisitions, testing, you can reach out to us.
Yeah, give us that email where we can get back with you on something. And Matt, we've slowed down on the frequency of episodes here lately.
Well, probably has to do something with our current personal schedules.
Yeah, which are terrible, absolutely terrible. Yeah, I think I spend maybe 2 or 3 days a week at home on an average.
In a 10-day period, I went from El Paso to Dalhart to Perryton to Beaumont.
Slacker, you missed text line.
Oh. Like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Drove 10,000 or 2,000 miles in 10 days.
Yeah. And Brownsville. You missed Brownsville.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been real hectic. Been gone a lot, working a lot. It's just the nature of the beast, right? When it's time to make hay, you make hay. So the old saying goes.
Well, the sun is shining.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is a thing. And for those of you who've sat on the edge of your seats anticipating, I do apologize. We're working on some things to maybe get video back going and have more video episodes. That'd be a great start for the new year. Maybe we can get that done. That may be on a different schedule than the audio ones. We don't know yet. Everything's up in the air. The world is full of opportunities, right?
Theoretically, at least that's what the fortune cookie said.
Oh, I always heard you had to say in bed after that.
Oh, we wouldn't want to have in bed on this cookie.
Look both ways before you cross the street.
Yeah.
So, other than work, anything else exciting happening in the Matt world?
I don't know. Did we talk about we secured funding for a new truck?
We touched on it that we'd gotten awarded a grant, and that's proceed. We haven't gone with the it's proceeding forward part.
I'm currently rebuilding our hazmat training.
Yeah.
That's always fun and glorious.
Yeah.
We're attempting to use technology to help maybe make that process a little less painful.
State of Texas has done a real solid thing and dumped a whole bunch of money into the fire service in Texas. That's what's part of what's prompted your busyness.
Yeah.
This time of year, selling equipment and so forth.
Yeah, the state of Texas is doing something that's pretty unique. Not only for Texas, not only for the U.S., but I would even argue worldwide. They're dumping, all said and done, it's about $350 million into the volunteer fire service in Texas over the course of, 2 years?
Yeah.
Something like that. Where they're buying tools, equipment, PPE, training aids, dry hydrants, trucks, small brush trucks, large brush trucks, tankers. Like, they're putting the Lord's work in now.
And they're installing a fleet of firefighting aircraft in the States.
Yeah.
The States never had that before. It's always been contracted. Now they're buying up aircraft. So there's a lot going on in Texas right now. I'd be amiss if I said that we were the only place with that kind of activity because I don't know, right? There could be other states doing
Only other state I know of that does anything remotely like that is California.
Yeah. I know that some states have programs, but they're all on a much smaller scale. They're giving away, $5-10 million worth of stuff a year or something like that.
I was talking about the aircraft.
Yeah, well, no, that's probably true. Yeah, California is the only other one that has their own aircraft. Doesn't eliminate the contracts and the contractors. It's a way to kind of, in the more mild times, to have aircraft that are basically dedicated, right?
States that I had to guess that had volunteer support programs for tools, equipment, PPE, and probably trucks. I suspect the entirety of the Northeast, probably the Rust Belt. Volunteerism's pretty strong in those areas. Um, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah,
Like,
Kansas, Nebraska, some of those
I
places.
think a lot of the South does that. I mean, Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Arkansas does. Like, those are the states that I know do that. Oh, New Mexico for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, New Mexico's a different animal. They're all different animals. Everybody does it a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
I think Texas is kind of unique in the way it's done some of this stuff and left it more to the local jurisdictions to request what they want, fulfill it like a grant, right?
Right, and that'll be the real interesting thing that comes out of. And it's not the political point of the shakeup to FEMA, but it'll be interesting to see kind of what that looks like. Year, 2 years, 5 years down the road.
Yeah, does that end up in blocks to the state, or how does those grant programs continue on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think they completely go away. I don't think that's in the cards.
I think it's just going to morph into training, uh, funding,
block grants.
yeah, and then block grants in
the states.
The funding mechanism would be during the natural disaster.
Yeah.
Like just dump trucks full of money show up.
Yeah, I'll take 2.
So,
yeah,
my microphone's fighting me tooth and nail here.
Fighting you. It's got to get a stick and whack it. On the national level, there's a lot of cool things happening. Myself and the marketing director for the State Firemen and Fire Marshals Association, Kim Hilsenbeck, got chosen to present our marketing class that we teach at the MVFC training summit in June in Arlington, Virginia.
How many days?
2 days. I'm gonna drag my wife along as I should, right? And I think we're gonna take a little extra time, maybe try to show up a day early flight, and a late flight on the day after, kind of get some opportunity to venture around the DC area a little bit. Neither one of us have ever been up there in the DC area, so it's kind of a treat.
I think if you spent your adult life going to DC for 2 weeks every year, I don't think you could catch it all.
Yeah.
Like it has been years since I've been to DC. I just try and go to the Smithsonian flight museums, and there's like 17 of them. Like there's not just the one.
Right.
There's, I think it's 16, 17, 12, something like that. One of the harder ones, not harder ones to go to, it's off the beaten path, is the Rocketry Museum. Because rockets, they're small.
Yeah.
So when you're going to go visit a Saturn V,
they don't have that.
Yeah, it's not on the mall.
Pennsylvania Avenue.
Yeah. And then
I think we want to kind of go see the normal stuff, the White House, Congress, some of those areas, the mall, go see the monuments, just kind of do that. And I'm sure we haven't looked yet, but I'm sure we can find some bus tour or something that gets us most of that in a pretty easy little package, to where we get to see it from the outside at least. We're going to be limited on time just because of the event itself that we're committed to, but the hotel is just real close to Arlington National Cemetery, so that's probably a little venture that could happen. to just kind of go see that and probably a short taxi ride to drive around the Pentagon and come back. Uh, that's not too far.
I mean, hell, you're not going to be able to really do Emmitsburg, the
No.
National Fire Academy.
No.
You go to the NRA Museum.
Yeah.
That's not a one-day museum.
And none of them were going to be that. Like, I don't think the trip gets to go inside stuff. I think it's you see the building kind of thing. And
I know this. I thought once I was going to go to like the Library of Congress because I'm weird and I thought that I would like that. That building's gigantic.
yeah.
Like, whatever the hell I was expecting was not that. Like just the tour I took was 6 hours.
Yeah. Makes an Amazon facility look small.
Yeah. And it was staggering. Like, absolutely staggering what was in there. And no, like, again, that in itself, 2-week tour just of that building, that one building.
And part of I've never been to the MBFC training summit. I've never been to one.
I've been to one. I went to one when it was in Texas, in Grapevine. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It was very, very good summit. Great speakers. So
I consider it a real honor to get to do this. Hats off to Kim for putting together the proposal and doing her part for us to get in on this, because I assure you it was all her, not me. All I can do is just kind of bloviate a little bit, but I'm truly honored to get to do this. I mean, it's kind of I don't know. I'd be wrong if I said I didn't have aspirations to speak and teach at big events, because I have. Like, years and years ago, I thought being a TEKS instructor would be the greatest thing in the world, and I kind of taught on the area school circuit for several years. Taught at several of those, and just kind of, it's something that I have passion for, and really kind of want to see what it's like. I've spoke at a lot of small events, spoke at some state events, uh, done my fair share of some of that, but to get to go to get the invite to be at a national conference, that's a pretty big deal, and I think a lot of people. I think there's a lot more volunteer firefighters in the United States than there are members of the MBFC.
Oh yeah.
And I think people wrongly don't assign value to some of these organizations.
100%. 100%. I would argue it's one of the biggest flaws. Flaws is the wrong word. It's one of the biggest battles the volunteerism, and particularly the department and the officers, and more importantly, the chief face, is that they don't associate with enough people outside of their own organization to have what I would call an actual grasp on the current state of affairs.
Right. I think a lot of us, and not so much me and you, but a lot of people, they latch on to the negativity of some things.
Oh, it's just an excuse.
Yeah.
Their organization is struggling, and that's a convenient crutch.
Yeah.
Period.
And it's a lot easier if it's not in your hands, right? You
Right.
take it out of your hands. Oh, this is a national problem. We can't do anything about it because we're just us, right?
And my statement's not saying that it's not rough out there for people.
Oh, it is. Absolutely.
It's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that don't be afraid to actually talk to your neighbors and see if they're having the same problems, or God forbid, maybe they are having the same problem, but they figured out a different way around it.
One of the fun, cool things I get to do, and I know you do a whole lot more of it than I do, but I get to occasionally go speak at a small department on behalf of the State Firemen Fire Marshals Association of Texas. Uh, Generally at a meeting or a training night, and really I'm just there to help them understand what value the association here in Texas can provide to them, and how to justify those dues, right? Uh, but I listen as much as I speak on some of these topics, and what I've come to realize is, you know, we deal with the same problems they deal with.
Sure.
It's all the same. Like they
Yeah,
don't.
well, I would argue we're bigger. Our problems are more complex.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's the exact same problem, right? And I think they see an organization that in their eyes is thriving and doing so much and doing things, and they just assume you don't have those same issues
Oh,
to
sure.
deal with.
Yeah.
And I just I impress this at a department. If there was 10 people there, 10 members of that department, that probably only has a 15-member roster that I went to speak at. Little bitty. I mean, I don't even think it's an incorporated city. It's just like a speck in the road kind of place. And thoroughly enjoyed it. Had good time, good conversation, learned a lot. Uh, but I'm talking to the chief and I'm explaining to her that, yeah, that's the same. What you're talking about and the struggles you're having are the same struggles we have. We just have it in a different way or a different scale. You know, she was talking about funding PPE and keeping up with PPE and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, no, that's totally a thing we have to deal with every year. And it's just normal. Or who's going to be an officer and who's going to, you know, take on some responsibilities. And, you know, sometimes people just want the title and sometimes people want the responsibility. And those are all pretty common themes. It doesn't matter if you're Pasadena, Texas, Granbury, Texas, or Benoit Grosswiener, right?
Right.
It's just a normal thing that you have to deal with. It. A lot of it has to do with societal norms and how people behave, and I think there's also a lot of misconceptions that people in the volunteer fire service have about what a volunteer's willing to do.
Oh, yeah.
So I think there's a lot of people that are in leadership positions that don't want to do anything. And so they automatically assume nobody wants to do anything. And what they don't realize is that experience dictates to me that they want to do more.
Generally, that's what I have found. The one thing that I want to add to what you're talking about, because it's actually a really good thing to talk about. There's there's some really small entities that I've stumbled into recently that they are really embracing the fact that they're not a structure fire department.
Yeah, I know several of those.
And I mean, they're really embracing the fact that they're like, we don't do structure firefighting, and we're going to stop trying to buy stuff that we don't do. You will never use it for. Like, we're we're a wildland fire department. We're a medical fire department. We're a car accident fire department. We have one structure fire every 10 years, and it's an hour and a half in route time before I get on scene.
And that's what I was going to kind of, because there's people out there that are going, "Oh my God, how do you not fight a structure fire?" Well, the problem is that some of these places that Matt's talking about are so remote. Like literally, if you get much farther west than us, a 20 or 30-minute response time is not out of the question, and an hour and a half is not out of the question if you go another 200 miles.
Yeah, no, keep going west.
Yeah,
Every 50 miles you go west, just add 10 minutes.
yeah. Because I assure you, it's not the building across the street
Yeah.
from the
I mean,
station.
we're talking about counties with one town in it, with a population of 3,000 people, and the county's the size of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Like, it's just different.
Yeah.
It's just different. And the cool thing on it is that these departments, that's their identity now. Like, they're actually really, it's like the burden has come off of them.
Right.
And they want to do these things that they actually do pretty regularly, and they want to do it really well.
It,
And I
and you
to
know,
me, I think it's kind of awesome.
the people that, as a general rule, the people that live in those ultra rural and bordering into the and going into the desert communities, right? Like
Right.
that. Those people that live where the drive to the nearest store is an hour, they understand that. That's why they move there.
Right. They want that.
Yeah, they're not expecting somebody to come in and save the day for them. That is not at all why they're there. They move there so that they could be autonomous and have the lack of government and those services, right? They're out there because they don't want people taking care of them. They want to take care of themselves.
I mean, 2 weeks ago, I was in an area visiting a department where arguably my car had no business on this road. As I'm driving up the backside of the Davis Mountains, uh, the fire station was 6 miles out of town. It was a 40-minute drive to get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're on a road.
Yeah.
This is not cutting through the desert.
Yeah. This is a road. Okay. Get there. Little itty bitty department, to say the least. Anywhere between 15 and 30 calls a year. Okay. Arguably the worst wildland possible setup you could ever have. But here's the kicker. You ain't fighting that wildland fire, because you'd have to have like a sleigh with goats, like pulling you around to be able to get anywhere on this. And the sleigh needs to be shaped like a ball or be in a helicopter. So,
And I think that's where the state of Texas is doing smart things
yeah.
with their aircraft program. It's because they're going to put an aircraft within a reasonable response time to some of these areas, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's this department though. They a four-wheel drive ambulance with a lift kit can't drive to these houses. Somehow or another my car made it though. Anyways, you'd have
The
to
old Prius.
yeah, you'd have to see White Lightning to understand the irony in that statement.
Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads, Matt.
What they do though is that when they have a medical, they literally put the patient in the back seat of a brush truck, of a four-door brush truck. And they drive them down the mountain to the ambulance. That is what they do.
And let's put all that into perspective, because I think that's one of the crazier things that I hear all the time. And granted, we're at a different avenue and a different level, right? We run enough calls that we're busy. But some of these departments may only run
Call a month.
one call a month. Like, that would be a busy year for them. And you put that into perspective, how in the world do you justify anything other than the current system that they have in place for that kind of call volume and that kind of responses? The folks that are out there are not going to call 911 because they can't poop. Like, that's not what they do. They're not the sissified, I'm going to get in a lot of trouble here, the sissified city folks that we take care of, right? They don't expect that. They don't expect that somebody's going to save their day. They know how they're going to take care of themselves. And oddly enough, you'll find guys like that, or old men out there that, you know, they wake up in the morning and they realize that they're having a heart attack, and they get in their truck and they drive farther away from the hospital on purpose, right? Or they drive to town.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they know what they're doing. It's not a deal. That's what they chose. That's where they chose to be. I think kind of the problem that happens with some of that is that uh, people that aren't prepared for that kind of lifestyle, that move into those places from other states, mostly because of cheap land and cheap. By the way, all the land is affected with anthrax in most of that part of the state of Texas. Uh, but they move out there because of cheap land that they can buy for $1,000 an acre or whatever, and they buy their 20 acres, which isn't enough to sustain
A gopher.
a chicken.
Yeah.
Right? Because they don't know and they don't understand that. But there's a ton of people that move to places like Terlingua that are there because that's the lifestyle they want. And you see the same things in the Mojave Desert in California. Most of the people that live out there in the Mojave are out there because they're escaping society,
Right.
not because they want to be a part of it.
This would be very true,
Yeah.
particularly in West Texas.
Yeah. Same with New Mexico and Arizona and all of that desert Southwest, right? You get on the western side of Interstate 10, and that's the norm. Uh, you don't like it. I actually think it's pretty good, but everybody has a different palate, man.
You know it. That's why I got that Lafroig sitting right there.
Yeah.
That'll cleanse my palate.
I bought some New Riff Kentucky Straight Malted Rye, and this is the second bottle, so I've bought it before and I liked it enough to buy another one. Matt absolutely doesn't like it. It's different. It's not a normal rye whiskey.
But again, I've never liked bourbons.
It's really not a bourbon though.
It's from Kentucky. It's a bourbon.
Like 51% corn to be a bourbon.
It's a bourbon.
100% rye.
Bourbon. Yeah.
That's something else and we'll venture down this deal because we've kind of used up that conversation, but I've been thinking we should start a whiskey channel.
Could.
And maybe it really tastes like burning.
We have to come up with a name. Something.
Can't be Bruzel. That one already exists.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Schmuckaholics.
Yeah. Just let us know if you think that's something that you get into. We could do some tasting videos, maybe some hunts, maybe venture off into a few distilleries. There's a couple local ones around here.
Yeah.
Maybe do something like that. We've had a few doors open with some production folks, and I think there's an opportunity to maybe do some other cool things in that realm. So hit us up, let us know something you'd be interested in. We don't shy away from trying new things. Neither one of us are
prudes.
Yeah. or just even in food in general or anything. Like if it
can fit in a trash can, I'm gonna eat it.
I'll eat it and see what it's like. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like I may not like it and I may not eat it the second time, but I'm gonna try it. I mean, there's really not that much I don't like. I don't care for asparagus and cactus, and those two things taste the same. Now I haven't had Balut.
I have.
I don't know that I'd like Balut. I don't know that lutefisk would be the greatest thing I ever ate. But I'd try it.
Lutefisk. That's pretty rough.
Yeah, I'd try it. I mean, sometimes shit that smells bad tastes good.
If you're hungry.
I mean, menudo doesn't scare me. Pig's feet don't scare me.
Gizzards.
I eat gizzards all the time. Like, yeah, let us know. I'd entertain the thought of doing something like that. Oddly enough, I may have more time to do something like that here in the near future.
Oh, you ain't going to get that lucky. What else we got? Keep it short.
We can. I think that we're bouncing in close to the Christmas holidays, and I think it's a good idea for us to give people something to listen to while they're driving to their Christmas adventures or flying or whatever they're doing. Probably don't listen to it in the car with your kids.
Good chance not.
Yeah. But oh, one more thing. I got the pleasure of going to Appleton, Wisconsin to Pierce.
Oh.
Week before last.
How many times have you done that?
That was my first experience. So I've through my career been involved in or purchased or signed the check or had the note in my name for 4 engines. One Pierce contender in 2000 and 3 Rosenbauers in the balance of that time. And I know, tell me I'm terrible for buying a Rosenbauer, but poor people have poor ways, right? And poor departments have even poorer ways. And through all those trucks, it was never really in the cards to do factory visits or, that's the kind of thing you immediately cut out when you're trying
Right.
to
You
save
needed to
money.
maximize your expenditures on the apparatus.
Yeah, that is the first thing that goes. I mean, I had the pleasure of that Pierce contender that the city bought in 2000. Pat Siddons himself delivered that truck. Now, granted, that was in the infancy of Siddons fire apparatus
Becoming the behemoth or leviathan.
that it is today, right?
Or the leviathan.
Leviathan. Yeah, that's it. So, I do have that. Like, I literally had the owner of the company hand deliver this apparatus, which was pretty awesome. Even with when he was a small company like that. That's a face. That's a face only a mother could hate.
God, that's terrible.
What did you drink?
That.
Oh yeah, no, that is not good. Yeah.
God.
Yeah. But
Ugh.
so impressive. So impressive. Nothing like walking through a factory with $1 billion worth of fire trucks being built in it.
Right.
Like, I don't think people can grasp. Like, you look on Facebook and you see all these new trucks coming off the line and they're on the blue floor and departments are posted. And let me just tell you, it's 10 times as many as you see on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Saw really cool things, saw some really big industrial apparatus with huge pumps and, like 7 12-inch intakes on them. And got to see some really impressive light and air units and walk-in rescues and things that are kind of not necessarily something that we would
Did you see
entertain.
the vending machine for just the tooling?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of that. There's actually several of those. Got to see the paint booths, the paint rooms, got to see ladder trucks in their infancy when it's just pieces of a ladder all sitting on sawhorses.
The striping, the hand painting, the gold leaf.
The gold leaf is
the
amazing.
CAD room's incredible. The engineering room's incredible. The shelves of chassis and just motors and transmissions. And
so a bunch of that moved off site.
Oh, they moved all that.
Yeah. So a bunch of the chassis stuff and then the initial getting to the rolling chassis portion.
So what did they put? Because at the very beginning of the assembly line, the chassis would be pushed in, and then they'd put the motor and transmission, and then they'd start building the cab.
It comes from across town as a rolling chassis with the cab on it.
Son of a biscuit. So what do they start on then?
The bed. So the bed starts kind of the process there. So when it comes across town, they tow them across town, and the paint shop is painting bodies and cabs, and then some of the cabs get hauled across and married there on the other side of town, from what I'm understanding. uh was very different. There's a how it's made video for the Pierce plant from, I don't know, 8-10 years ago sometime, uh that shows the process. Well, that has changed significantly. Where the chassis kind of were is now the offline apparatus. So that's all the light and air trucks, the special heavy rescues, the hazmat units, the stuff with like the stuff that's built in it doesn't move. The crews move to it.
Interesting. So when I did our light and air truck, it was built with all the specialty apparatus, and we just happened to be in there at the same time that like Kansas City had like 10 of these gigantic quantum, I don't know what they were, like hazmat command things.
Right. Yeah, I saw some of those.
And there was a couple of these for like ATF and uh another Homeland Security or something. And meanwhile, we have our little just short box Freightliner over there.
Yeah. So they won't even build our light and air truck anymore. Pierce will not build it.
It's a shame.
Yeah. And that was coming from the engineering staff and the salesman that we were there with on the tour. Pierce doesn't build that Freightliner chassis light and air truck anymore at all.
Wonder why.
Because it slows down production and it's not their chassis. So even in the Florida plant where the commercial chassis stuff's built, they do not build that truck. They'll send you to a different manufacturer.
Interesting.
So,
thought that was actually a pretty popular truck too.
Yeah. I think that
was the first one of many that came out.
For Siddons Martin, that truck will now be built at Skeeter. So local to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, right? That's what I was explained, that style of truck would be built at Skeeter now, and not built by Pierce. But if you want that custom cab, that Enforcer or Velocity or whatever cab, light and air truck / rescue / mobile command post, whatever it is, that's built there at Pierce in Wisconsin.
Trying to think, the last truck I went up there for would have been the final on engine 1 and the pre-build on tower.
Okay.
That's the last one I did. And that was either the fall of 18 or the spring of 19.
So I picked up my application and turned it in the day of the push-in for engine 1. So, and I've been here 6-7 years, somewhere in there. I mean, the 4 years of my daughter's high school, and she's a junior at TCU right now. So that gives you the time frame there. Super awesome. Saw lots of cool trucks, lots of cool ideas.
See any bad ideas?
I did see some ideas that I wasn't super hot on. I don't know why departments would build a black fire engine.
Well, it looks awesome.
If you're a cop.
Good luck keeping it clean.
Yeah, it sounds terrible to me. Got to go to the paint swatch room. That was pretty impressive, right? So the guys at Station 2 where this ladder's going to go would really, they want the actual stick of the ladder to be red instead of white, and which would look phenomenal. It'd look really good. But the color matters, right?
You better match it right.
You better match it right. So we spent a lot of time in that room looking at colors, and turns out we were pretty good. We actually picked the one that the paint people said was the match. Who would have thunk it? You know, one-eyed fat man can pick a good color. But yeah, it's got to match, right? You've got graphics, you've got stuff that's ambiguous to the fleet. Like, it needs to match. And so that was fun. That was neat and interesting to get to see that process. The gold leaf process is absolutely insane. How much handwork goes into that. Uh, those people that work in that department are artisans.
Yeah.
They deserve every bit of credit. Like, what is done with a computer is such a minute portion of what the end result of that product is. Uh, I'm glad we don't do gold leaf.
See, I think if we ever did gold leaf, what we should do is silver leaf. Because with our colors, I think silver leaf would look fantastic.
Yeah, no, it looked good. And the fact that there's just, I, I'd like to clean that floor once a year. I might could get 10, 20 grams of gold out of it.
It's probably 30 grand and sitting in dust.
Yeah, you know. Saw some cool walk-in heavy rescues, which is not a common truck for Texas. That's more of a Northeast thing, major metropolitan area thing. Uh, Actually, really good truck. Like, I'm I'm not advocating that we try to go get one of these, but it could be beneficial to the way we operate.
Those are expensive.
Yes.
Those are very expensive.
Yeah, it could be beneficial to the way we operate. And maybe in, 15 years when the current light and air truck ages out, maybe that's something to look at for those future people of GVFD to consider as an option for a replacement for that. Kind of roll a couple things into one kind of deal. I would never propose that as a purchase just because of the number one, the expense of it. Number two, the complexity of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is a heck of an apparatus. Uh, Lots of ladders, lots of engines. Uh, every color scheme, truly custom. Truly custom. Indianapolis had one of the coolest trucks there, and it was a rescue engine. But their colors and their layout and kind of the way their truck was designed is alright.
Put some time, energy, and effort into it.
Yeah, yeah. Kind of had that low hose bed, kind of war wagon, uh, side ladders concept, but had additional compartmentation uh, underneath the ladders, but above the tires, kind of some short tool compartments, top mount pump panel. So it's kind of that war wagon concept, but top mount, but just all around a really nice apparatus. So, and how many trucks do we have in the mix for this year?
Three for sure.
Yeah, potentially
might be a fourth.
Yeah, and so two of them have been pre-constructions happened. There's another pre-construction in the next 60 days.
Something like that.
There's a final in the next 60 days. And then there's potentially another pre-construct in the next 90 days.
Yeah.
So, and they're all coming from different places potentially, but same dealer, just different factories in the United States.
Yep. Moving on up.
Yep.
What else you got?
That's it.
Just leave it at that.
Sounds great.
Guys, have a Merry Christmas.
Yep.
Enjoy your time with your families. Enjoy your time with your departments. Enjoy your time in the communities. And in the meantime, if you ever feel like reaching out, holler. Not going to repeat it all this time.
Yeah, we'll see you in 2026.
That'll work.
All right.
Have a good evening.